Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of People to People in Australia and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. And it's Friday afternoon at 12:30, which means we're live here on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn for P2P Live. Now, we're actually coming to you from Luna Park today. So we're having our annual strategy day for our Sydney and Parramatta teams here, talking through the really interesting marketplace that we have for employment and jobs at the moment and how we're going to respond to that. But look at the background. Oh, and there's somebody's just dropped something. But look at the background behind me here. You can't get a more fantastic venue than this one. So what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to go through our regular section, the numbers, where we'll be talking about the release of the GDP figures this week. And then we've got 3 jobs that we need to fill today. So I'll be letting you know about those vacancies that are temporary vacancies throughout Australia. You can jump onto those. Then we'll be crossing down to Athena in Adelaide, where she'll be announcing the Temp of the Month winners for all of our offices throughout Australia. So a lot to do today. Let's jump into it and get started with our regular numbers section. Well, a big week this week with the release of the GDP numbers from the ABS, and it was good news all round, really. And you can see here with this particular graph that it's the quarterly domestic product, seasonally adjusted, and we were up in the vicinity of 3.5% for the quarter. I think putting us on a yearly growth trajectory, 4.2 or 4.3%. It's a really good number, and I can tell you anecdotally how that's transferring into the labour market is that there are more jobs and more jobs advertised than we've seen in the Australian marketplace for decades. It's extraordinary to see this. So the economy looks like it's doing well. Let's have a look at the next graph, and we can see that in a different format. This is state on state. So you can see that really the growth for the last quarter was directly responding to the rebound in New South Wales. So New South Wales had a huge rebound from the September quarter when they went through that lockdown, and now it's rebounded to really carry the growth rate for the country. Looking through the other states, strong in Victoria. A nice rebound there. The ACT had a rebound. It was Tasmania and Northern Territory have sort of come off the boil a little bit, and South Australia and Western Australia were there or thereabouts from where they were before. But the real story here is that the GDP numbers were inflated by the rebound in New South Wales and Victoria. Let's have a look at the next release, or the next graph that I've pulled from here is and this is really about wages. So this came in the pack that was released from the ABS this week. And this is the quarterly growth in compensation of employees. And you can see the increase there. The light blue is private, the dark blue is public, and you can see that rebound as it comes up to 2.1%, with wage price indexes across the country looking at an annual growth of about 3.2%. Now, I actually think that the inflationary pressures on employment at the moment are much higher than what these statistics are actually showing. Labour unit costs are in the vicinity of 13% increase quarter on quarter. And I think that will then start to translate through to the compensation for employees in the next coming quarters. I know anecdotally from our team that as people change jobs, they are securing salary increases that are well above the numbers that we're seeing in this particular graph. Anyway, it's good news from the GDP numbers in the last quarter, so it's very exciting to see them come through this last week. Righto, 3 jobs. Fill Job Friday. We have 3 jobs that we need to fill today around the country. So let's jump into the first one, and this one is a marketing. Oops, there we go. So it's a marketing, and that's the man behind the scenes, by the way, is Jacob. Jacob is in our New Zealand office. Hello, Jacob. It's great to see you there. And I should mention that we can see all of your comments in YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn in real time. So if you've got any questions about any of the things that I'm talking about today, then please jump them in there, and we can come back to you. Here's the first job. It's located in Melbourne. It's a temp job, 12-month contract. Start ASAP. Please get in touch with Will in our Melbourne office today. It's a marketing and events manager for the public sector. The previous experience in marketing with a degree qualification in marketing is required for this particular job. But it's a fantastic opportunity, 12-month Will in our Melbourne office. Here's the next one we have to fill today. Financial accountant. This is in Sydney, $45 to $47 an hour. Hannah Cunningham is the consultant that you need to get in touch with. It's initially a 6-month temporary position located right here in North Sydney, where I am right now, just up the road. You must be an experienced accountant to handle the variety of tasks from month end to transaction duties. If you're qualified, that's an advantage. If you're part qualified, I would still get in touch with Hannah and let her know for sure. Here's the next role that we need to fill. This one is based in Brisbane, South Brisbane to be exact, in Queensland, $26 to $27 an hour. So it's reporting through to the operations manager. This is a kit assembler within a medical technology company. So think if you were going to get a hip replaced and you were in surgery, they would have a kit to replace your hip with. This is what we're talking about. Those kits need to be put together. So you need to have a higher level of accuracy and attention to detail. Jamie Taylor is the man that you need to speak to in our Brisbane office. 07 3118 0125 is the number. So there you have it. 3 jobs that we need to fill today. Marketing and events for government in Melbourne. Contact Will. Financial accountant. Get in touch with Hannah here in the Sydney office. And a kit assembler for medical technology in Brisbane. Jamie Taylor is the man that you need to get in touch with. If you are on a bus and you're thinking, well, okay, how do I apply for this? I'm just watching this while I'm commuting. Use vPly. We've put the links in the comments there where you can quickly just apply with a video message for any of those positions, and we'll get in touch with you straight away. Righto, let's now cross to Adelaide, where we'll talk about Temp of the Month. To get us there, though, we have another position, a permanent role, I think, for Sydney. If you want to run the video, and we'll get set up to have a chat to Athena in Adelaide.
Hello everyone. This accounts assistant role is with an Australian-owned business and will jumpstart your career in accounting. They have a fun, fast-paced and results-focused finance team. Reporting to the accounts supervisor, your role will include bank transfers, reconciliations, importing journals and general accounting support for a core business stream. You will be kept busy while maintaining a lovely work-life balance. To be successful in this role, you will have a strong understanding of debits and credits, intermediate Excel skills and exceptional communication ability. You will enjoy working with a supportive manager, a great team leader and a cohesive team. Give me a call or apply online if you're keen to know more. Thank you.
Well, it's really humid here in Sydney, Athena. I don't know if you see the beads of sweat on the top of my head here, but it is unbelievable. Great view, but man, it is humid. It just hasn't stopped raining. How is it in Adelaide?
I'm actually in Melbourne today, Mark, but it's beautiful. we didn't get to that. Yeah, no, it's beautiful. We're getting a bit of Adelaide weather, so I feel like I'm home.
Yeah, how is it? What is it? Bright blue skies, 20 degrees or something, not like grey and 90% humidity like here.
No, well, I'm down on the coast, down at beautiful Mount Martha, and the sun is shining, and it is just an unusual day for Melbourne, really. I'm not used to weather like this year. So.
Fabulous. Well, we're not here to talk about the weather, are we? We're actually here to talk about Temp of the Month. So you've got all of the nominations and the winners from around the country, so I'll leave it to you to announce it to everybody.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, so starting off with Adelaide, of course, one of my lovely temps. The winner is Zoe Pfeiffer. Zoe has commenced during the pandemic and has been an absolute asset She's jumped in, no questions asked, and supports us with all tasks needed. So congratulations, Zoe. For Brisbane, we have 3 nominees, Joyce Moores-Ayek, Elizabeth Bauer, but the winner is Pablo Andreyred. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Pablo, reliable, high-performing, and an engaged worker. Pablo is a great employee and team member. He exudes positivity and he's always keen to help his colleagues and demonstrates how to respond to feedback. So well done, Pablo.
Congratulations.
Melbourne is next. We have 2 nominees, Jade Copeland and Vaya Vagesi. And the winner for Melbourne is Jaya. I have received positive feedback from many parts of the business regarding Jaya's contribution and attitude. Her willingness for learning and helping where she can has not gone unnoticed. So well done, Jaya. Perth, we have Olivia Hayes as the winner. Olivia has been such an asset to our team, even though we know it's only temporary. She's jumped straight in, helped and picked up all the work without any hesitation. So well done, Olivia Hayes. And finally, Sydney. The winner for Sydney is Ashish Pradhan. And I would like to nominate Ashish for displaying our company values, accountability, teamwork, and care. So that is our Temp of the Month winners for this month.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. So for those who are watching, they go, well, how does that happen? Well, every time a timesheet is approved by our clients, there's an opportunity to nominate our temporary on-hired workers, and all of those nominations are compiled and a winner is announced. So that's fabulous. Now, before you go, I have to ask you, how is the temp market in Adelaide right now?
It's been good. It's been, it's not been our strongest week, but it's certainly seeing increases across the board, different industries. So it's been nice. It's been an interesting week, but a lot of fun as always.
Yeah, cool. So if anybody's watching and you're looking for a temporary role or you want to ask about the market in Adelaide, what's the best way for somebody to get in touch with you, Athena?
Email at athena@people2people.com.au or on the mobile 0400 33 99 32.
Perfect. Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks for joining us all the way from Victoria, not South Australia, which is where I thought you were, to announce today's Temp of the Month. But thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Righto, we're close to the end now. We just need to follow up with our regular Twitter poll results, or I should say social media, because it's actually Twitter and LinkedIn these days. Here are the results of last week, where last week we asked, because of everything that's going on with a lot of remote work, is staff monitoring software a good idea? Well, not surprisingly, about 67%, well, not about, exactly 67.8% said no, my boss should trust me. I think it's really interesting, though, that a full quarter of respondents said, well, it really depends. And there's a whole bunch of people out there who are really, they need to get on top of their teams. Yes, absolutely, for remote working. So 1 in 10 people think that. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out over the next couple of years. So we thought we'd ask, there's a big trend, lots of media at the moment around the Great Resignation. And we thought, well, why not ask the Twitterverse and LinkedIn whether the Great Resignation is a real thing. I mean, I've got my view on this. What's yours? Jump onto Twitter @people2people. Do you think the Great Resignation is a real thing? And we'll announce the results the same time next week, 12:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Thanks again for joining us live here from Luna Park and from Sydney Harbour here. The harbour's really quite brown and dirty with all the rain that we've had, but it's still a fabulous location. Enjoy the weekend and we'll see you again next week.